Addiction by Muhammad Maboka. We all have seen people suffering numerous times through our lives with addiction. We may see strangers in the grasp of it, we may associate or have relationships with people who are addicted to something, or we ourselves might be dealing with some form of addiction. There's a long list of substances or behaviors that put humans at risk for addiction, such as opioids, nicotine, cigarettes, alcohol, gambling, social media, sex, basically anything that pleasures our reward system and releases dopamine. Addiction is described as a user who uses substance compulsively or engage in compulsive behaviors despite the harmful consequences if continued. The three stages in the addiction cycle is binge intoxication, withdrawal negative effect, and the preoccupation anticipation period. Imagine a child on Halloween night and you tell them not to eat the candy. It just won't work. Children are a great example. Most children, after getting a taste of candy, can't seem to get enough. If they had access to it 24/7, they would probably be happy. Meanwhile, their dentist is warning them of tooth decay. A child is incapable of making the decisions or understanding that their actions are impending themselves and their future. Imagine being an adult and still dealing with this. Addiction for me came in the form of video games when I was younger. I still remember the nights I spent awake playing my Game Boy system, knowing full well that when that school would come up, I'd most likely be tired throughout the classes. What makes addiction so pleasurable is the dopamine we receive from the substance of our behaviors. Dopamine is the feel-good chemical that humans release after receiving pleasure, causing us to feel good and to continue to satisfy the need for that dopamine release. This means that under all the things that can entertain us, bring us joy, or anything that could trigger our reward system, there is a risk for us developing an addiction to get our fix. According to Catherine Schaefer, research analyst for the Pew Research Center, 95% of teens have access to a cell phone. This would put teenagers more at risk for developing an addiction to social media and cell phones. Safe monitoring and education on the proper uses of social media can help prevent teens in becoming addicted to using their cell phones. I think it is important to understand just how deep America is in the opiate crisis. Opiate addictions, such as heroin or fentanyl, is responsible for claiming the lives of close to 1 million Americans in the span of 22 years. An example of just how bad addiction can bring an individual, I like to share progressive interviews of a drug addict named Amanda. As you are watching and listening, make sure to pay attention as how her addiction negatively impacts her overall health and well-being.
I've done every drug. I've done crystal, weed, speed. I've done every drug.
You tried heroin?
Heroin? No, I never done heroin. I need to try it.
Me too. Oh, did I already talk to you?
No.
You sure I haven't talked to you?
No.
I think I have.
No.
So
Anybody make you believe that if you fall right now, you can't get up. Don't let nobody make you believe that you too old. Don't let nobody make you believe that.
Thankfully, addiction is not a life sentence. There are ways for us to overcome any addiction. Seeking cognitive behavior therapy is one good tip. Since addiction is behavior, understanding why we choose to behave in these addictions can help those understand that they are powerless to what they can control, yet powerful in how they choose to interpret and deal with the situation. Simply understanding that you are addicted is a good first step in helping one quit. I believe we all may be addicted to something. The goal, however, is to have more healthy addictions that brings us fruits of joy instead of the bad ones that gives us more problems to begin with. Being addicted to substances and behaviors will only leave you replacing pleasure with pain. Learning to establish boundaries to where addictions aren't developed is crucial to our survival. Most of us never tried hard drugs, yet we know from what we hear that they feel amazing, euphoric even. When we choose not to give in to the trap of addiction, we soon realize it is something that we have full control over. I believe we are all capable of becoming addicted, tired of things that harm us or provide us good. It's up to the individual to choose. Addiction is a choice, so choose wisely what you choose to be addicted to.